Next one is the standard-based. According to Brookhart 2019, standard-based grading is direct descendant of criterion reference grading. So, standard-based grading is likely similar to criterion reference grading. This measures how well the students meet the predetermined learning standards or yung objectives. This focus on what the students know and what the students can do using the descriptors. Gaskin and Bailey 2001 have identified 4 steps in developing standard-based grading. First is identifying major learning targets and standards. Second, establish performance indicators for the standards. Third is identify, benchmark, and indicate graduated levels of proficiency. Fourth, develop reporting forms and indicate progress and final achievement towards meeting the standards. So here's the example. You can see here that it has a table that shows the standard-based. Standard here is demonstrate scientific reasoning. Ito yung standards. This tells us what the teacher expects the students to be able to do at the end of a unit. So the process skill indicator here are the specific skill or step that shows whether the student is meeting the standards. So ito yung mga specific skill na nakapaloob sa standards na need ma-attain ng mga students. So example dito is yung distinguish between observations, conclusions, and inference, state the appropriate hypothesis, communicates data with simple graphs and pictures, use simple models to explain results, identifies variables, draw appropriate conclusion for data. So each of these, or lahat ng to, yung anim, bawat isa nito ay component siya ng scientific reasoning. So ito yung nakapaloob na skills. Ito yung skills, yung anim na to, ito yung skills na nakapaloob sa standards na need ma-attain ng students. So the key to process skill grades, ito naman yung scale na gagamitin ng teacher para i-rate or score yung bawat indicator or yung specific skill na nakapaloob sa standard. 4 is consistently and accurately. So yung 4, 3, 2, 1 na to, ito yung scale or babasehan na score ng teacher kung ating ba talaga yung specific skill sa isang standard.
So one of the issue or misconception in this grading is that yung standard-based grading is nami-measure niya yung skills and abilities ng students and not the personality. However, yun yung nape-perceive ng mga students or yung mga parents na they think that it's unfair para sa iba, especially mostly yung mga introverted person or mga introverted students, because these students participate less in class even if they understood the lesson well, in which yung standard is naka-indicate ng skill and hindi siya personality. And yun yung nape-perceive ng mga teacher or student na it's about the personality of a person, bakit yan yung grade niya. For example here, in a grade 7 AP class, students are graded on civic participation. A shy student receives a score of 2, while an outgoing student receives a 3. Parent A, the parent of the student that receives a score of 2, complains that it is unfair, thinking that shy student is being penalized for personality, while the parent B, parent ng students na naka-receive ng 3, argues that all students should meet the same expectation, in which yung sa kay person sa parent na naka-receive ng score na 2 is yung complaint niya is about that yung pagka-introverted daw ng tao ay yun ng student or yung anak niya, yung student, yun yung nakapag-baba ng score niya, in which it clearly says there na ang grade is nakabase sa civic participation, in which yung student is hindi siya nag-participate kahit alam niya yung sagot. It is a skill, di ba? Standard-based grading measures what student can actually do, yung mga kaya nilang gawin or understand based on specific na indicators such as yung sharing ideas, working with others, or completing a task. Personality traits like shyness and confidence. Misunderstanding happens when parents or students confuse participation or confidence with competencies. For instance, a shy student may still understand the lesson very well and meet most of the learning goals even if they speak less in class. This grading system aims to highlight area where students need to improve, in which yung nakalagay yung civic participation doon sa example. While being fair and objective, showing clear what each student has mastered and what skill they need to develop. Maybe yung student B na master niya yung civic participation, but yung student na nakaget ng 2 is hindi niya yun na master, so need niya yun i-improve. So hindi siya naka-base sa personality na mostly yun yung nape-perceive ng students and teacher. So there are schools na gumagamit ng ganitong grading approach, in which ito rin is maka-apply sa or yung ginagamit ng DepEd according sa curriculum, especially nung sa K-12 or sa matatag curriculum. Meron nakalagay doon ng mga standards yung dapat ma-attain ng students sa isang quarter, sa isang subject or sa isang course. Kung gaano niya ba na master yung specific mga learning competencies sa curriculum. Example, dito nakalagay sa the standards here is demonstrate understanding of civic participation and local governance. So sa baba, ito yung mga skill indicators, rating, and description. Dito sa process skill indicator, nakalagay dito yung mga expected na dapat ipakita ng mga students at the end of the unit or dapat nila ma-attain na goal.